Good morning. How are you this morning? Welcome to April the 2nd, 2025. It's your buddy Uncle Bruce. Today is, they call today apparently Liberation Day uh, in America. Liberation Day. It should be interesting to see how the markets react to this day. But I think it'll be also very interesting to see tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday. The next 3 days will be very telling. I think what we have here setting up right now is we have a referendum being set up by investors. I think that participants in the stock market for the Dow, the Nasdaq, and the S&P 500, for those particular three indexes, I think the way those indexes react in the next 72 hours or longer until Friday night will reflect the opinion of investors regarding what's going to happen today in the Rose Garden in the White House. It's like an election in America without being an election. A lot of people can vote with their dollars in the next 3 days, whether they like what they are hearing and seeing and what is being proposed, or if they don't like it. And there's going to be a celebratory party kind of atmosphere projected to the world, I think, later today on the White House lawn. And I think all we have to pay attention to as to what the real world thinks about it is how the markets are reacting. How is the US dollar doing against other currencies? Interest rates, that's the bond market, how the bond market reacts. And then the Dow, the Nasdaq, and the S&P 500 indexes. They'll tell you, they'll straight out tell you now. Markets never lie. This is something I learned as a stockbroker when I first joined the market. When I became a rookie in 78, 79, 1978, 1979, I became a licensed stockbroker way back when. And I would seek out specifically whenever there was an opportunity for me to get 10 minutes with another stockbroker to just talk shop with another fellow employee, I would seek out the gentleman with white hair. I would go after the older guys, the ones who'd been around a while, because I figured out as a kid that when I worked in my father's music store, I was the young 13, 12-year-old whippersnapper who was told to do not speak, just listen. And while I was cleaning the glass counters at my dad's music store, where all the harmonicas were displayed and everything, getting all the fingerprints off, I'm listening to the chat between customers and my dad, or my father's store manager and customers, because they would talk musical instruments for a while, and then they would talk politics, and they would talk business, and they would talk just what's going on out there. And I was absorbing. And I noticed that the older the customer that would come in the store, the more knowledgeable they were and the more experience they had. And they would talk about stuff that happened 5, 10, and 20 years ago and what's happening today. I would do that at the brokerage firm. I would go to the older veterans, because I knew deep down inside that down the line in time, I will get the white hair and I will be the veteran. And I needed to absorb this information. I didn't shun the experienced. I grabbed the experienced, all I could get. And today we're going to find out what the market thinks about what's going on now versus what's going to happen going forward. And as I'm here right now, just with you at 8:36 in the morning in New York, we're down 316 points on the Dow Jones, approximately, in the pre-market. We're down 54 points on the S&P 500, and the Nasdaq is off 229 right now. And percentage-wise, it's 0.75 of a percentage point for the Dow. It's about 1% for the S&P, and it looks like about 1.2% almost for the Nasdaq. Oil is off 46 cents to 70.74 roughly a barrel in Texas. So far this morning, the market is not reacting all that favorably to the anticipated balloon-filled rally party atmosphere on the Rose Garden lawn at the White House. But everyone's watching it, and everyone's talking about it, and people are wondering what's going to happen. There are analysts out there and commentators out there who are, giving their opinion, some of which are very interesting and have me thinking deeply about kind of what's going on. Some of the comments that I hear and have heard now for weeks are, I think, very accurate, and that is that no matter what is said today, no matter what tariff plans are announced, whatever reciprocal stuff is coming up, whatever is happening today, tomorrow and 6 months from now, there will not be a brand new factory built in the United States that will make goods and products that Americans are now buying and have been buying for decades from overseas suppliers. There will not be American companies coming in making basic goods for sale to Americans. There is zero money in it. Where the money is would be to create a factory that makes the world's greatest, most powerful computer chips, or switching systems, or military upgraded missile systems, or the greatest, not even this is going to save the United States manufacturing business. These are never going to be made in America economically by anyone. The only version of this that could ever be made in the United States would be the cheapest, dumbest phone of all time. That would be it. Because the companies that now provide phones to Americans try to get top dollar by bringing out all the bells and whistles. A stripped down version might be the way to go. But you may have noticed just in the last 2 weeks, without much fanfare, Apple came out with the iPhone 16e model, the Econo model. So Apple has brought out a stripped down 16 phone already, made in China. You go to your local phone provider, cell phone company, you don't have to have any money to get a phone. Phones are now almost free. They're just payable on a 2-year contract, a 3-year contract. Americans, very few Americans actually shell out money now to buy a phone. They get a phone through their cell phone provider on a finance deal, which means the bankers are in on it, Wall Street's in on it, and the telephone companies and everything else to tie Americans up for a 2 or 3 year new contract. Competition makes it cheap to get something, an Apple phone or a non-Apple phone. There's no way factories are going to make this product in the United States. They don't have the supplies, they don't have the raw materials, and they can't find and will not be able to find the talented people to make the product in the factories. The one fallacy that seems to not go away is that the popular misconception, I guess, to coin a phrase, is that many people believe, a majority of people believe, that factory jobs are handled by people who don't get college degrees, that they are the lower educated grunts of our society. And we are given that impression simply because of historic photographs and historic videotape that we are bombarded with media, showing us how Model T Fords were made in the 1920s and the 1930s and stuff, and how we had, big factories with grime covered people, steel plants and coal workers and we just got the impression that laborers were the ones working in factories, and much of that was correct. But today's factory, the 2025 version of a factory, is nothing like a 1980s, a 1970s, a 1950s factory whatsoever. And the reality is that any factory built in the United States will be built by investors who will demand the most robotic, automated systems known to mankind, which means labor numbers will be very low. You may have a 1 million square foot facility created somewhere, and you're not going to have 40,000 workers at that place. You're going to have 2,000 workers. This is where the misconnection is coming. We have voters who are being told we're going to be great again, and we're going to have really good paying factory jobs coming back to this country. The bitter reality is that almost everything that is imported into the United States from overseas, and I don't care what country you pick on, Asia countries, European countries, South American, doesn't matter. The goods coming into the United States are now manufactured overseas with robotics and with far fewer workers than ever before. A foreign-built car coming into America from South Korea, from Japan, has fewer workers making that car there than being made in the United States. Because unions in the US have fought their way for new contracts and to retard and hold back innovation at Ford, GM, and Stellantis, Chrysler, to protect union jobs. Whenever the longshoremen go on strike in Long Beach, California, and LA, and they threaten to go on strike at any of the other ports around the United States, they're all controlled by the unions. One of the top negotiating points that the union brings up to the port operators is for us to sign a new 3-year contract. You cannot modernize the port. You cannot replace unionized workers with robotics. You can't bring in automatic systems that reduce our employee counts. The second thing they want is health care. They want guaranteed health care. They want a guaranteed pension plan for all these workers who are going to finish working as they retire out. It's all about preserving what they've got, whereas the port operators are looking at the ports in Asia and in Europe, and they're going, a 20,000 container ship being loaded and unloaded in foreign ports, you need a quarter of the workers that you do in the United States. It's way cheaper to load and unload containers elsewhere rather than in America. The problem is, of course, to bring goods into America, you have to go through a U.S. port. And the Canadian ports also run the same way, by the way. Vancouver and Montreal and Halifax, all unionized. And these guys are not interested in modernizing the systems to the point where they lose workers. They're happy with modernization as long as all of our employees are not laid off, and we can replace employees and keep the membership at the level we have. This is the big fight going on. This is the modern technology battle at the car plant, at the parts plants, import exports. Railroads want to run more efficiently. Trucking companies want to run more efficiently, and all of this is to reduce the headcount. And right now, I'm talking to you folks wherever you are around the world, but in North America, what is the number one area that has the investment community the most excited for the next 10 years for growth and profitability? Something known as artificial intelligence, AI. And what actually is AI when it comes right down to it? The replacement of workers, the efficiency upgrade of corporate everything, corporate America, corporate Canada, corporate anywhere. It is the ability to replace human beings with artificial intelligence machinery to take the decision making out of the structure of business. And this is the death of 40-hour work week jobs. Every job? No, but many. And already it has become evident in the last 5 years. It is already starting to show up that when you are trying to order something, or you're trying to reserve tickets for an airline, you want to buy a ticket for a concert, you want to do whatever you want to do, online, you're dealing with another computer. You're not dealing with a human being. You're dealing with a human being that's running 2,500 requests an hour and handling these comments. And if you have a question about your brokerage account, you have a question about your marginability, or you want to ask a question about your IRA, or you want to go ask a question about your RRSP in Canada, you want to get banking information, you want to call your telephone company, you want to talk to anyone, your cable company, what do you get? You get that telephone system that we all can't stand with a million options. Press 1 for this, press 2 for that, press 8. Have you thought about going online to our website for this and that and the other thing? All you want is a customer service representative. The thing is, if you're old enough like me, you remember the days where you can talk to human beings to get things resolved. Today, the younger you are today, the more accepting you are about the world as it is becoming, that you realize you're never going to talk to a human being. You're just going to get your problem resolved by another computer. And the hope you have is that it understands your comment, or that you push button number 1 and then choice number 6 and choice number 8, and that resolves your problem. And some young people in this world go, I love this a lot better than talking to some person in Vietnam or India or Pakistan about my problems with my telephone account. Again, that was the first wave of letting people go in North America. We got rid of call centers in North America and replaced them with call centers in the third world. Now we're getting rid of those by using AI. Welcome to the changing world at large. There's no going back. I can guarantee you that. There is absolutely no going back, because the very people who are benefiting the most from this world in which we live, the top 10% I keep talking about the top 10%, this mythical 10%. These folks invest money into businesses and they expect returns and results. None of them, not one investor anywhere in the world, wishes to invest billions of dollars of their capital through pension plans and hedge funds and whatever else into 1950s or 1960s style factories. Not one. The winner in the factory business is where an American company wants a product made for them under license and brought into the United States, Canada, North American market, and the European market, where an item is manufactured in a factory overseas at such a low price that their margins are stupendous. Take a look at Lululemon. Take a look at Nike. Take a look at any of the sneaker companies that you buy your sneakers through. Take a look at any of your clothing manufacturers. These people, American-based, Canadian-based managers, owners, investors, are geniuses in marketing. They are absolutely geniuses in retailing. They're the best of the best. They have figured out that we in North America and in Europe will pay a certain amount of money for a sweatshirt like this. And they have figured out that they can get this made in 2 places in the world at very acceptable prices. They can either go to a place like Bangladesh, Pakistan, parts of India, and go to very, very poor regions of the world with millions of unemployed people that will work 12 hours a day, 6 days a week under horrific conditions, because they know that if they don't deliver a labor result, they'll get either beaten at work and no one can stop it, no one will do anything about it, or they'll be fired and replaced with 1,000 replacements. And we have in North America importers of this material, of this product, t-shirts, sweatshirts, pants, socks, underwear, the basics of life at pennies on the dollar to be sold. That's factory number 1. Factory number 2, if you're going to bring in a pair of glasses or you're going to bring in a timepiece, or you're going to bring in something with a little more engineering to it, rather than just a plain old one of these, you're going to hire a manufacturer in another first or second world country where the factory is so automated that the operators of said factories, who know that they don't invent anything, they just make stuff for other companies under license, they can produce a complicated piece of equipment at pennies on the dollar versus European or North American factories in volume. And they will sign a contract with an importer to bring into the United States and in Europe product that can't possibly be made in those countries for the same price. And that is how this game works. You go into your local Costco store, you go to your Target store, you go into your Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, you will find products in there that are basic, like a hammer, can be made anywhere. None of them are made in the USA, really. Screwdrivers, when's the last time you saw a screwdriver made in the United States? They're made in a third world country in a slave condition. But if you're bringing in a fancy-dancy drill with all kinds of drill bits and whatnot, Vietnam will have factories there with, again, not thousands of workers in it. The factory where this comes from has gazillions of workers at pennies a dollar. The sophisticated merchandise is produced at highly automated plants where the workers are still only paid a quarter, a tenth of what they would be paid in North America. You cannot expect any tariff regime of any kind to bring back those factories or get those factories established in the United States. The reality is the world economy is $80 trillion large. 80 trillion. The American economy is $30 trillion. And guess what's happening to the American economy? It is slipping. The world economy is growing and the US economy is stagnant. And that means in 5 years, the world economy will be $100 trillion and the American economy will be $29 trillion. And 10 years later, it'll be 150 to 30. And the United States no longer leads the world in innovation and in standard of living. It is slipping. And I look at it as a 69-year-old and go, what's the ultimate answer? I may not have the ultimate answer. But what I'm looking at going, you know what really is the sad thing about all of this is that the world at large, up until now, was willing to accept American dollars at a much higher value than they are really worth. And Americans have been enjoying a wonderful lifestyle compared to what they're really worth out there by spending American dollars for goods to be brought in here. And the rest of the world has been taking the American dollars at faith that it'll always be the most powerful currency in the world and just going with it. But in reality, the American dollar has been slipping already. 2 years ago, the Swiss franc was at par with the American dollar. You could swap a Swiss franc for an American dollar. Now, the American dollar is worth 88 cents on the Swiss currency, and the tariffs haven't kicked in yet. It's already 12% lower. We haven't even started yet. The pound, British pound, was 10 points lower than it is now. It's gained against the American dollar, and the UK economy's got all kinds of problems. They're not part of the EU anymore. The euro was at par not too long ago. Now it's back to 109, 108, 107, and it might go higher. The Canadian dollar was getting whacked down to 69 cents last month, and now it's back to 70 again. It's not dropping any further. Odd. The American dollar over time has already started losing some oomph here, and now it's vulnerable to more. Again, America is basically pricing its own citizens out of the economy of the planet by taxing its own citizens with tariffs. Because whoever on the right, I can't believe how gullible people are who believe that tariffs are being paid by foreign countries, that the Chinese pay the tariffs, the Canadians are paying the tariffs, the Mexicans are paying the tariffs. when in reality, it's the American people that pay the tariffs when you pay for your product at the checkout counter. And yet, even the simplest explanation of tariffs does not seem to change the mind of the zealots on the right. It defies logic to me. But when you're drinking the Kool-Aid and you're drunk on it, why get off the high? Because if you've got a high, you keep the high going. It is what it is. I don't know. I can blame myself to a degree why Trump is in power. I can blame, let's say, my generation for why Trump is in power. Because the strongest block of voters that are loyal to this guy are older, generally speaking, in age. And then, of course, the study after study after study about who are the voters that vote for him. They're the high school and less crowd that are desperate for a break. They're desperate for a win. They're looking at their grandparents who were high school graduates, if that. Their parents may have been only high school graduates. They didn't get into college. They're looking at generation after generation after generation of a lower standard of living in America and Canada, and they're looking to a guy who says, "I'm a billionaire and I can make your lives better." But unfortunately, he doesn't have the cards. His own words, he doesn't have the cards. He has a losing hand of cards. Because factories today need highly educated and skilled workers to succeed. You sure do need people who are janitors, and you do need parking lot sweepers, and you need grunts to paint doorways and all. Yes, of course you need all that. But the majority of people working inside and for companies that operate huge factories are college degree people, even at the factory floor. They're specialists on how to run and maintain the machinery and understand it. That is not a grade 10 educated person. That's the reality of it. And so, yeah, what can I say? There's no way a t-shirt maker can make a go of it in America against a $1.40 t-shirt out of Pakistan, landed with tariffs added. Because remember one thing about tariffs, okay? A box of t-shirts arrives from Bangladesh. 100 t-shirts in the box, I'm guessing. The shirts are landed at the port of entry into the United States in huge containers. All right, so there might be 1 million t-shirts in 5 containers. Those t-shirts are landed on U.S. soil at a set price. And the prices are set by the importer, negotiating with the manufacturer, having them made. They're made for 25 cents a t-shirt, if that. 5 cents to ship them and get them in, including tariffs, 25%. So now the importer just brought in a t-shirt for 40 cents, 30 cents. They didn't bring it in for $1 a t-shirt more. The United States government isn't getting $1 a t-shirt more. And so a manufacturer in America that wants to make t-shirts against the Pakistan-made t-shirts, the Bangladesh-made t-shirts, the India-made t-shirts, they can't produce t-shirts for 40 cents a piece in the United States. To produce a t-shirt in the United States will run you $3, $4. 5 times the price. It's not even close. It's not even close. And so there will be no factories in Tennessee and in Georgia and in South Carolina and in Kentucky and in any other red state you want to pick off, Missouri, Mississippi, Arkansas. There will not be factories making t-shirts and sweatshirts in the United States. They can't produce them no matter how high the tariff is in the United States. That is the bottom line. And so corporate America that brings in these will continue to thrive bringing these in. But now they have an excuse to raise the price by 10% on you because you don't understand that in reality, the tariff on a t-shirt is a nickel. You don't actually get it. And the other thing that you're not understanding, you're not going to be told, is the amount of money that the tariffs will actually collect. They really won't be enough to offset the tax breaks that the right want to give corporate America and the wealthy. Because again, the bottom 10% don't pay taxes. They will never pay taxes. They don't have any income. The only taxes the bottom 10% will pay are tariffs that are built into what they can afford to buy. And they can't afford to buy Mercedeses. They can only buy used cars, if that, and cheap T-shirts. They can't. They won't pay income taxes. The only income taxpayers that can be saved money are those who do pay income taxes, and that means the higher end. At the end of the day, farmers in the United States are already coming to Washington saying, we need another $80 billion backing. We need $80 billion in socialized payouts from the federal government, because the cost of potash and the cost of other materials has risen on us by the very government that is now giving us money back over here. So we pay here and get it over here. This is called socialism, that every right-wing American can't stand the word socialism. And the government of the United States and the economy of the USA is becoming more socialist the more nationalistic it gets. I'm just a guy looking at the outside going in, and the market is saying, well, whatever Bruce thinks is whatever he thinks, but we investors are getting out of this market, and we're going into a bear market. I don't think the bear market will go away until the midterms, and even that is only perception, because if the midterms don't go the other side, towards the other side, we could go another 2 years, and we could well have a 4-year bear market before we see any hope of getting out. And even then, I don't know. Is J.D. Vance going to be the next president of the United States? Can you imagine the United States with J.D. Vance as president of the United States? Oh my goodness. I'll tell you right now, people are not waiting around to find out. They're not waiting around to find out how things are going to work out with tariffs. They're not waiting to find out how things are going to work out with the tax cut, if it happens, or whatever else. People have already decided to just very quietly shift and place their bets or hedge their bets somewhere else. Hedge funds are absolute geniuses at hedging their bets. And all they have to do to hedge their bets is this little device here called a finger. All you have to do is click a keyboard and move billions of dollars somewhere else. And it's happened to the tune of trillions of dollars already. I heard a week or two ago that the US markets have already lost $6 trillion of value. I wouldn't be surprised if we're at 10 trillion by now. It is a silent, not discussed. No one on CNBC, no one on Fox Business is going to bring this up, because these business channels are right-wing mouthpieces of the administration. They support Donald Trump and all of his things. They want the SEC a sideline. They want business to be able to dominate the world going forward. And unfortunately, you have to take sides. Do you take the sides of the big business top 10 percenters, or do you take the side of everyone else? Well, who pays you your bills? If you're owned by billionaires, you're going to reflect what the billionaires want reflected and mentioned. And so CNBC and the Washington Post and the other, Fox News, Fox everything is all controlled by billionaires. They have a right-wing agenda because they want to remain billionaires and be even better off than before. Unfortunately, the bottom 10, 20, 40, 50%, too many of the bottom half don't realize that they're giving away control of their economic well-being to the top 10 percenters who are assuring them that all will be well. If we are doing well, you will do well. And I keep asking, how's it going for you? How's it really working out? Since the 1980s, this has been the question since the Reagan administration. How are the poor of America really doing? Have homeless encampments disappeared across the United States? Doesn't look like it to me. Anyway, there you have it. I'm just a guy who's 69 now, going to be 70 this year. When Reagan was in office in 1980 or so, 81, 82, I was 25 years old, 30 years old in 1985. And for a while, I thought, wow, gee, if the well-to-do do well, the trickle-down economic thing will work really well for everybody else. And in the 80s, it didn't get better. In the 90s, it didn't get better. In the 2000s, it didn't get better. The 2010s, it's not getting better. 2020s, it's not getting better. Why is it that there are more refugees around the world than ever before? It's not like just America's having problems with its own domestic poorness. But if you listen to your politicians and you believe these guys, they have the answer for you. Blame immigrants for all your problems. And enough gullible people believe that that's the case. That, oh yeah, that's right. It's all those people storming in, taking over our country. That's who we blame for all our problems. We don't blame ourselves. It's the old playbook, and it will never end. At the moment, though, some of the 10%ers are voting right now what to do, and they're leaving. They just click their money out somewhere else. There it is. I'm just a guy in front of a computer. Thank you all for tolerating me. If I anger any of you, it's not intentional. But if I'm making you think and making you analyze a little more, going, well, yeah, that's an interesting point. I hadn't thought of that, Uncle Bruce. Well, maybe I'm helping you. Look, there are trades to be made that will make you a lot of money. I'm asking you today for your opinion regarding what kind of option trading are you doing to make money? The question here is, I write these stock options for income and to grow my retirement accounts. I'm asking you whether you're writing covered calls, poor man covered calls, cash secured puts, and credit spreads. I'm asking you, what is it that you're writing, and what are you making on? What are you trying to make money with? How are you trying to make money in your account using an option writing strategy? 96 thumbs ups, by the way. Thank you. 153 votes are in now. 31% of you have said, Uncle Bruce, I make my money doing covered calls. That's how I make it. I'm an option writer, and I'm an option writer using covered calls. And about 50 of you are telling me that is how you are predominantly bringing wealth into your account. And I'm going to guess that of the 31%, I bet you 80% of those folks, maybe more, are definitely doing that covered call writing inside retirement accounts, because retirement accounts are restricted with regards to the kind of option writing you can do with respect to margin ability and so on. 5% of you have responded that you're doing poor man covered calls. 50% of you are saying, I'm making my money, Bruce, by doing cash secured puts. That is the answer, Bruce. I believed you 6 months ago when you started asking us and mentioning to us that it might be time to get the hell out of Dodge. You began to mention in November, December, the markets are hitting all-time highs with PE multiples that were out of sight. And I took your advice. I started selling stock and writing cash secured puts on stocks I would not mind owning at a highly discounted price. And I made my move. 14% of you are doing credit spreads, are doing that as your number one way to make money, is credit spreads. And I congratulate you. I'm pleased to see you responding to this poll. Every day that I bring them out, I try to come up with a question a day. It is very revealing. Yesterday's poll was incredibly revealing when I asked you, how old are you? Those of you who are writing options, how old are you? And 40 and over, 70% of my respondents are 40 years of age or older. Only 30% of my viewers are under 40, according to the poll yesterday. We had a very good result there. Not a lot of people participated. And here we are today, my 40-year-olds and older, look what they're doing. They're writing covered calls, they're doing cash secured puts, and then they're doing credit spreads, and ultimately last, poor man covered calls. Cash secured puts is a classic way to take the cash off the table on top of the cash you've got. It's a smart move. Many of you are now hauling in interest on your account balances, daily interest that's being paid to you monthly, that is also adding to your wealth. And it's shocked some of you that starting in December, you started getting interest, and now it's April, you're coming into your fourth month of hauling in interest on other people's money because you wrote cash secured puts. Well done, everyone. Now, I mentioned to all of you to get out of this market. when it was hitting new all-time highs. What was I using as the excuse? Very high PE multiples. I was talking to you about just the Magnificent Seven, just those stocks, about how expensive they were on a price earnings multiple. And looking at it here, what a change. I mentioned the PE multiple January the 30th. So February's gone by, March has gone by. In 2 months, in just over 60 days, Apple was trading at 39.4 on a PE multiple. It is now trading at 35.4. Apple has dropped 5 PE points. This is a huge pullback. Tesla was 192.6 on its PE multiple. January 30th, it's now 131. Wow, that is huge. Microsoft was 35.6. It's now 30.78. Google was 26.2. It's now 19.7. Amazon was 50 PE multiple. It's now 34. That took a haircut. NVIDIA was 48. It's now 37. NVIDIA has had a combination of factors. It was a $140, $150 stock at one point at the highs. And they came up with a nice earnings report, the last report. So that also helped reduce its PE. So NVIDIA is not 48, it's now 37. Very interesting. Facebook, Meta, was 28, it's now 24. And then just for fun, Netflix used to be 49.50, it's now 46. And if it falls any further, that means the PE multiple will go lower. That's what I'm showing on PE multiples just in 60 days. The Magnificent Seven, every single one of those companies have had are now trading at a lower PE multiple. And they can go lower yet because some of these multiples today are ridiculous. You cannot trade 35 times earnings for Apple. Cannot. That is not a healthy price for the stock. It's double what it should be. It should be 17. That would be really a decent price. 35 is overpriced. The question here going forward is the quarter coming up and the quarter after that and the quarter after that, the rest of this year with higher tariffs coming out and restrictions and supply chain problems and everything else, will it mean that Apple will not have higher earnings per share, but existing earnings per share? Will they just match last year's number? Or will Apple lose 1 or 2% from its earnings report? The gross sales might be hanging around, but its net profit might back off. That would mean the PE multiple will go up. If the stock stays where it is and the earnings aren't there, the PE multiple rises back to 40. That's not good. Then the stock really is in trouble. Tesla at 131 earnings. Is that a fair price for Tesla to trade at? That's the question. Microsoft at 30. Too high. Google at 19 is not too high. Not too high. 34 on Amazon is still too high. 37 on NVIDIA. They better grow into these earnings continued. 24 on Meta. Not bad, but not yet cheap. 46 on Netflix. That's too expensive. Good news for Netflix is they won't have to worry about tariffs. They don't make anything overseas that they import. They're producing content on television and on our computers. And so they will escape that. But 46 times earnings is double what they should be. Even at 23, they're rich. So a lot of these stocks are up anywhere from 20 to 50% overpriced yet, even now. And now the question is, if we are going into a sales slump, if we're going into an economic slowdown, if we're going into a self-administered recession made by the President of the United States and his right-wing zealots, if this creates a perception of a recession or an absolute pullback in spending, big time, and outside factors make it worse because U.S. goods are not welcome overseas for a while, this will create layoffs left, right, and center in the United States. These stocks will not benefit because their customers will get the crap kicked out of them. Remember, the Magnificent Sevens are not known for discounts. The Magnificent Seven companies out there are not known for the cheapest products you get your hands on. They're known for making a lot of money from prosperous Americans, the top 10% in particular, who spend half of all the money. If the recession begins to hit not only the bottom 90%, but now the top 10 start to feel it, you're going to have a pullback in spending dramatically. And with overseas sales plummeting for American goods, the Magnificent Seven will be caught red-handed with their hand in the cookie jar, because half of their business comes from overseas. And if half of their business is under threat with retaliatory tariffs, it can't be good. And so the market could reflect a much bigger drop, and we will be into a deep bear market. Yeah, because again, the Magnificent Seven are half the market. Remember, we've talked about this, how dominant the Magnificent Seven are of the S&P 500 index and the Dow and the NASDAQ, and you name it. It's not good. All right. Thank you very much. Bjorn, hey, Bruce, in Sweden, 90% of the mortgage are adjustable rates. In USA, it's the opposite. What is it like in Canada, adjustable? They adjust every 2 to 5 years, depending on what kind of mortgage you get. Exactly. Some are purely adjustable, variable rates. They just change with the market all the time. That's the story there. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you for these thumbs ups, you guys. You've already piled into them. I appreciate it. We're about 100 now, I guess. Thank you very much. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Wolfgang, thank you for this donation, but I'm sorry, but the tariffs are definitely happening. But it is what it is. What can I say? Let's see. What else is going on? Yeah, China, Japan, and South Korea, says Jeff, are working on a free trade deal. The U.S. is going to be left behind by the rest of the world. That is possible. There will be regional deals made to just circumvent the U.S. entirely. I don't know. Uncle Bruce, how low do you think tariff reaction can drag some of our favorites? The good news for SoFi is they're not affected by tariffs directly. They're only affected by tariffs indirectly. If people get laid off and they're SoFi customers. But that's the same for Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Robinhood, any brokerage firm, any insurance company, any car company. A layoff is a layoff is a layoff, and it'll slow down the U.S. economy. GameStop, yeah, I guess games might cost more, but GameStop is, obviously way ahead of the curve with regard to shutting down unprofitable locations and also diversifying into other areas. And with that cash balance of theirs, not much downside. Rocket Lab, sending rockets into space and getting a $5.6 billion contract from the U.S. Space Force. They're going to be busy. So these three stocks will do just fine. Tariffs won't really affect them directly. Just saying. What else is going on here? Let's see what we got. Pizza is asking, Bruce, why can't America turn it around? Why does it all sound doom and gloom? Today feels depressing. Yeah, I hear you. America has unfortunately bought into the notion that all of its problems are completely identifiable to immigrants. Every problem America has is an immigrant reality or radical left-wing policies. That's what America's problems are. And enough people actually believe this BS to go with it. When in reality, if the United States were to open up green cards to minimum wage workers, you would have more labor available at lower prices than you can imagine, which would benefit the rest of the United States. Immigrants pay taxes and Social Security, big time, but no one talks about that on the right. And tariffs are a killer, a job killer, and an economic killer. But again, you talk like that, you're labeled, like people label me, a socialist, and that's just a dirty word. What can I say? I think prosperity lifts all boats, and the right wing believes it. But as long as the 10% get the prosperity, then the bottom 90 can have a better time of it. I look at it the other way around. If you lift the bottom up, the bottom 90%, you lift them up, the top 10% get incredibly richer because they're crafty, they're smart, they're entrepreneurial, they're ahead of the curve. They don't need help from government. The top 10% doesn't need government help to be a top 10%er. They figured it out themselves. It's the rest of the economy and the society. But right now, the government is thinking top down, not bottom up. That is the problem. That's the story. I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy. Hey, okay, Wolfgang. So if you're wrong, then will you admit it? You mentioned quality of life costs yet don't factor in American defense allowing it. Look, show me I was wrong with the Reagan argument. Every critic of Ronald Reagan was proven correct after he left office, because it took years after Reagan left for the damage to be fully appreciated. George Bush, the first president, he had to clean up the Reagan mess, and he paid the ultimate political price to clean up the mess. When George Bush Sr. raised taxes because Congress and the Senate was looking at the budget going, it's out of control. We're running deficits that are out of sight. We never seen these kind of deficits before. They had to raise revenue. And so everyone blamed George Bush Sr. He lost the White House to Clinton. And Clinton, 2 years into his presidency, had a balanced budget and surpluses for the next 6 years. The United States ran surpluses for 6 years under Clinton. That's why he got reelected. Unbelievable. The right wing was going after conspiracy theories on Clinton, left, right, and center. The U.S. Treasury stopped issuing 30-year notes. They didn't need the money. They stopped selling 30-year notes. Look it up yourself. Don't have to believe me. Don't believe me. Look it up yourself. But then guess who came into power after Clinton? Not Al Gore. He didn't get elected. He had more votes than George Bush Jr., but George Bush Jr. won the White House. Thank you, Supreme Court and Florida. And what's the first thing George Bush Jr. did? He dropped taxes. He lowered the taxes. And the U.S. deficit was right back and worse than ever before. And there you go. What can I say? We haven't looked forward since. It's been a disaster. In any event, it is what it is. I saw a speech the other day, a clip of a speech. It was Obama talking during a rally like a year ago. And it's talking about how Trump was saying, yeah, 2016, the economy was great. Obama says, yeah, it was great in 2016. It was my economy. It's the one I gave him. He said, you know what I took over in 2008? A disaster from George Bush. We just had the 2008-9 financial crisis, and Obama got the White House right at that time. He said, I spent 8 years cleaning up that goddamn mess. I gave Trump a beautiful economy in 2016. Oh, beautiful. But it was my economy, not his economy. I love that speech, but the right conveniently forgets that, and there you have it. But again, I don't want to make you mad, but I probably am. But sometimes the truth hurts, and it is what it is. Just say, right now the Dow's down 307, and that's the measurement you have to go with. Don't listen to what I say. See what the market says. The market doesn't lie. So we're down 309 now. It's 56-point drop in S&P, 249 on NASDAQ. Do we lose 1,000 points today? Is that what's going to happen on Liberation Day? What's going to happen on the markets today? It's down 305 to start. Got 5 minutes to go. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Thank you all for being here. And I don't want to make you mad, but I just want to make you rich. But you better understand what the hell is going on. Anyway, there it is. Let's see. Here we go. Savage of Wall Street. I love writing cover calls on all my stocks. Then 2 years later, when I had enough data, I was able to see how powerful cash-secured puts are. And let me tell you, there's nothing more bullish than writing cash-secured puts. There you go. Giddy up, sir. Thank you for your comments, and all of you were here. What can I say? Let's keep on going. I love NVIDIA so much. I wrote $100 and $90 cash secured puts on it, expiring in 2027. I brought in $20 and $15 respectively for these contracts. I am praying that Jan 27, I get assigned on those 400 shares. I'd love to buy them at 90 and 100 apiece. The man then write two $10 SoFi puts for 50 apiece and 100. Now you have 24.15 and rinse and repeat monthly. The man has strategies here. Giddy up. He's saying that If you sell GameStop $20 call expiring April 17, you will get $3.15 premium, so you'll end up with $23.15 in cash. Then write 2 SoFis for 50 each and then get 100. Now you've got 2,415. Just rinse and repeat. What else? Welcome everybody. Let's go. I'm done writing cash to get puts in this market, says Jeff. I'm going to write cover calls on the stocks I hold, and I hope they survive the recession. Let's go. GameStop released an 8K last night. The note sale is done. Over $6 billion now in the bank. Evan, I looked at that last night. Didn't see it. They must have filed it after I looked at it. That's what I've been waiting for here. We're opening in 2 minutes, by the way, everybody. Thank you all. The Tesla numbers are out. Their deliveries, 336,000 versus 390,000 estimates. Let's go. America is kicking out people with green cards. A German man, a legal resident, was arrested and incarcerated. There's all kinds of horror stories going about, and the media is not covering very much of this. Lisa, you were absolutely correct. It's scary out there. It is what it is. The deep state is alive and well, my friends. The deep state. Welcome, everybody, to the show. Let's see what's going on. We're about to open the market here in 2 minutes, so get ready for that. Let's get a peek at some of our favorites here. Where am I? Pardon me. Oh, my goodness. Let's go here. And we're looking at the market now, down about 300 on the Dow, 55 on S&P, 244 on NASDAQ. We'll see how it works. Don't be surprised that we have volatility all day today. There will be volatility all day today. This is not a one-directional market. We're going to swing a lot. Okay, we're down 44 on Rocket Lab. We're down 34 on SoFi. These are the very end of the pre-market. We're down a dime on GameStop. Apple down 189, Tesla down 1360, Microsoft down $5, Google down 190, Amazon down 450, Nvidia down 280, Facebook down $12. That's Meta. Supermicro down $1, ASTS down 50 cents, AI down 59, Palantir down 221, MicroStrategy down 780, Unity down 47, Goldman down 740, Cisco down 61. Down we go. It's negative, red everywhere. We open in less than a minute. We'll find out for ourselves just what this market has in store. 2254 on GameStop, not getting sucked in all that much. And we're waiting. I was waiting for a filing, something to do with the GameStop financing being concluded and filed and reported. And I'm looking here. I still do not see an actual filing. Am I missing it somewhere? There was an 8K. Oh, maybe here it is. And I appreciate all of you if you've been looking out for this. It's completed its announced private offering of $1.5 billion. Okay. And they took the option as I figured they would. So these are done. They mature in 2030. And they can convert the stock into the paper into stock at about 29.85, I think it is. Somewhere in here it says this in all of this gobbledygook. Anyway, yeah, giddy up, everybody. Welcome to the program, pal. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for being here. Oh, my goodness. Okay. There we go. All right. Well, there it is. So they've now got 6.3 billion cash in their account, and we're up and running. Tesla shares skid in pre-market after March deliveries fell more than forecast. That's a breaking news story that came out a little while ago. And we're open now. Thank you, Larry, for if you've hit those bells. I'm sure you have. Yes, he has. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. We're trading. We're down 300 something on the Dow at the moment. We'll see what's going on. Okay, everybody. The knee emojis are coming out, of course, as always, from our loyal followers. You know you have to honor the Knights of Knee. Otherwise, you're kidding yourself that you think that the market will do well without you honoring the Knights of Ni, you are sadly mistaken. The Knights of Ni are the all-powerful force behind this market, and you better get with the program. Honor the Knights of Ni with a Ni emoji, especially those of you members out there. We're going member commentary right now. Thank you for being a member of this channel. Thank you for upgrading your membership to gold level. Tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern time, we're going to recount what happened today on this channel for Gold Bagel members only. I welcome you to become part of the family and join us tonight at 7 o'clock. As a Gold Bagel member, you get to join us tonight at 7 Eastern time. Thank you again for the thumbs ups, and for 188 of you already who have now answered the question of the morning here. I do appreciate this. 120 thumbs ups are in. We've got 188 votes. 31% of you are telling me you're writing covered calls. 51% tell me you write cash secured puts. 13% of you are doing credit spreads. Only 5% are doing poor man covered calls. Remembering yesterday was a fascinating poll question, I think, where I asked you, what age are you guys? And I asked how many of you were under 30, between 30 and 40, between 40 and 60 and older. And between 40 and up, 70% of this channel is made up of 40-year-olds and older. So you've got some gray hairs coming. You've got a bit of wisdom in there. And you figured out that it's time to build wealth while you can, before you physically can't do it or mentally won't be able to do it, or whatever. I mean, you're a certain age and it's time to get going. Those of you pre-retirement, in your 40s and 50s, you're desperately trying to grow your wealth now. Good idea. Covered call writing, a damn good way to do it. And of course, those of you who are 40 and older who want to get away from your job or retire much earlier than you ever thought possible, you have made arrangements to shift your assets around so that you can now make your assets equity in your house, your 401ks, got rid of the third car, got rid of the second car, whatever you do. You have shifted your assets to now be an income generator, to make your money make you money rather than just try to make money at work. Welcome to the party, pal. You are one step closer to walking away from that employer that only wants to drain you of everything you've got for just a cash payout. Get out of there. Live a life of quality. Take over control of your life. Sale. Classes are on sale. Buy 4 for the price of 3 for the month of April. We're now the 2nd of April. We're running out of time. You're down to 4 weeks, and this sale is over. If you want to get some classes, make your move. It's funny how time flies. I announced this deal last week, and it's almost a week into the sale, and some folks are going, oh yeah, that's a good idea, and you haven't done it. Next week comes so much faster than the week after that. I'm telling you, soon you're going to be looking at it going, oh, I'm down a few days. I better get these classes. Just telling you, the sooner you take the classes, the sooner you're going to be an option writer. And the sooner you're an option writer, the sooner you are joining this group right here. And you are hanging out with this family of winners and avoiding the losers. Giddy up, everybody. Deep value, I'm number 120, and I do spreads. Giddy up, everybody. Zeta State, I'm 41. I'm one of that group, man. Yeah, exactly. Savage of Wall Street. Savage in his early 40s, started trading in my late 20s, didn't discover covered call writing until I was 35. This is a huge difference in my life. Right on. GameStop is green, Bruce. It's the one stock that's going up against this entire market. Well, what can I say? We're down, 239 to 300 on the Dow. You tell me what's accurate. We're up a penny on SoFi. We were up a little bit on GameStop, showing now 4-cent loss. No big deal. ASTS down 22. Rocket Lab only down 18. MSTR is up 87 cents. So the bleeding is not happening on the stocks we're following. It's definitely not there. The bleeding is elsewhere. Tesla down $12 for sure. The spiders and the Qs are off this morning. Spiders are down 369. Qs are down 324. Those of you writing credit spreads, call credit spreads. Are you happy? Are you smiling? Are you glad you took my classes on how to do credit spreads? Are you sitting there going, good, God almighty, Uncle Bruce, I cannot believe how easy this is. I can't believe how much money these gamblers will give me when I write call options that are at prices way above the market with only a couple of weeks expiry time, 2-3 weeks expiry time. I cannot believe how much I can bring in. It is just insanity. I can bring in 4 to 12% premiums on my money, offering a 3-week contract that I know by next week I will close out. I won't even be in this thing for 3 weeks. I will shut this spread down next week and create another 3-week contract, and I will haul in dollars and dollars and dollars on this stuff. It blows my mind how insane the gamblers are, thinking there's going to be a miracle turnaround in this market. It's just not in the cards. We're down 322, I think, on the Dow. I don't know. Am I accurate? Let me refresh. I'm trying to get my biggest iPad to behave itself. 2271 on GameStop. It looks like we're up a dime. Is that right? I think so. SoFi's up a dime at 1201. The $12 barrier isn't there. 156 drop on the Dow right now. 165 down. 26 in S&P, down 100 on Nasdaq. Oil down 30 cents a barrel right now. Okay. Everybody, welcome all to the program. Glad to have you here with us. I just want you to be richer. Anyway, there you go. What else? Anyway, there's all kinds of there's talk going on between viewers about this news thing stock. I don't even want to talk about it. It's garbage. Stick to your knitting. Stick to your lane. Write cash secured puts and grow your account with them. Just get a huge cash balance in your account. Cash is king here. We're going into a bear market. We're going to go much lower in these indexes. There's talk of a 20 to 25% drop happening in the next 3 to 6 months. It's going to be a bleed out. It's going to continue. It will not stop. There's nothing the White House can do about it. They've already set the course. The ship is going to collide with the iceberg. It's already happening. The U.S. economy is going to take a massive hit. The other signs that American media is not covering aggressively is the number of Canadians, and Europeans, and Asians that are not coming to the United States this summer and next summer for holidays. Most Americans can't put it together. They can't get it figured out. The reality is there will be millions of jobs lost in the service sector, which is a backbone of the American economy. Hotel jobs, restaurant jobs, tour jobs, transportation jobs, the hotels, the services, they are going to get whacked. Marriott, Hilton, Holiday Inn, IGH, all these, or GHI, I can't even remember the names of these hotel chains, are going to not deliver results. Shopping malls are going to have much lower traffic. New York City and region for tourism, bad news. Florida, the state of Florida tourism business, cruise lines are in trouble. They don't want to say anything. Los Angeles area, California, Texas, the tourism business into America is about to get severely whacked. It's already evident with 25% cancellations across the board from European countries into the United States. It's getting worse. It only just started last month. It hasn't even taken hold yet. Canadian cancellations for summer vacations, dramatically lower. Next winter vacations for Canadians coming south will be dramatically lower. This is what is not being told to you because the owners of the media channels are not going to give you this kind of news. They want to get you into the market and pay top dollar for their stock so they can issue themselves more options than keep you buying. This is the name of the game. No one in Wall Street is telling you to sell. Have you noticed that? We're off 7, 8, 9, 10%. No one is telling you to get out. No one told you to get out when they were at all-time highs either. They're talking about reallocation. That's all they're talking about. Getting into this area of the market, this area of the market, reallocating our exposure. And the question is asked, well, are you telling your clients to go into cash? Oh, no. Oh no, we're reallocating our cash into these sectors right here and these sectors right here. Clueless, and they're brainwashed, and many of them are being told what to tell you. And that is the ultimate sin right there. They're being told what to tell you. It's bad news. I'm just a guy just saying, whoa, look out, kids. The market does not lie. Zeta State, Uncle Bruce, I have 22 cash secured puts for SoFi. I have 22 cash secured puts for SoFi. I have 10 contracts that expire Jan 26. What happens if SoFi remains at these low levels? You have $10 cash secured puts written on SoFi? You're not telling me that. You do not tell me that. I don't want to know this. You couldn't possibly have $10 contract. Tell me what you've done. Where's the dollar sign here? I have 10 contracts. Did you write $22 cash secured puts? Okay. All right. Sit tight with your arms folded. I hope I'm reading this right, because I don't know. There's no dollar sign here. You're leaving me out in the gold here. Good morning, Uncle Bruce from Rocketeer. This market is incredibly irrational and really believes Trump is bluffing. The market is in for a rude wake-up call, especially when the retaliatory tariffs are implemented. Oh, yeah. No media is covering this. No media is covering what's coming at America from the other side. The only thing you're getting from your media right now is how tough America is getting and how glorious America is going to be and how fantastic. You're getting the message from the White House, and you're believing, they want you to believe that story. They want you to believe this 20-something-year-old press secretary, whatever her name is, who is as dumb as a rock, who is just hasn't got a clue what the hell's going on. And the media knows she's as dumb as a rock. And just spouting off all of, how great America's going to be, and everyone's paying the tariffs, and we're going to be unbelievable bootlickers. The bootlickers out there are just mind-blowing to me. But again, you only need 50.1% of the vote. That's all you got to get, You just get half of those who will vote to vote for you, and you control everything. And how do you like it now? How happy are you now? Unbelievable. It just is ridiculous. The other side of this retaliatory thing is the story. This is the story. It's not how much more Americans have to pay. We've gone over that. It's how little the rest of the world is going to want anything with a made in America label on it. That is what's going to crush the markets. That's what's going to crush the stock market. When corporate America has to admit that 45 to 55% of all our sales are to foreign customers, and we just lost half of their business. We've just been wiped out. And we are now looking at a much lower top line from sales and a much lower bottom line. You just saw the Tesla numbers. That's your first hint right there. That is the shot across the bow. And no one is talking about it in any depth at all. Wait until corporations like Johnson & Johnson and General Foods and IBM and Hewlett-Packard and Microsoft and Apple. Who's going to want to buy an Apple phone in Belgium? Think about that. Think, McFly. Think. Who is going to want to buy an Apple phone in Germany? Who wants to buy an Apple phone in Italy? These countries are getting nailed with tariffs. You think their citizens are just going to buy American goods because they're loyal to Donald Trump? Are you out of your mind? Americans just aren't getting the story. They're just not picking it up. If Apple has a 5% drop in net profits this next quarter, the quarter after, the dope slap will come in with the markets down 30%, and people are going, oh my God, Apple is down to 180 a share, and it's now going to 140 a share. What the hell's going on? It's going to be down 50% from its highs just a few months ago. Yeah, because Apple's earnings are going to take a hit. The market doesn't want to believe it. We were 260 for the high on Apple stock. Right now, 222. This isn't a pullback. This is just a normal reflection of regular market patterns. Wait when Apple breaks 150 a share, then people wake up and go, my God, my pension plan is down 30%. My IRA, my plan at work, the savings plan at work. I'm 48 years old. I had 350 grand in there. It's worth 175, and it's still dropping. This is the wake-up call. Thank you, right wing. There's going to be a bloodletting of epic proportions coming. I'm just telling. I don't see it not happening. The outside world is not happy right now. Austin, also we're going to lose a lot of international students. Hard to see why people would come here to go to college. They can't get in, and they're not even applying. Why would you bother? You'll go to France, Italy, Germany, England. You'll go to colleges around the world, and the last place you're going to come to is this country. You're going to see students. You're watching videotape of students being arrested by masked, black-covered agents in unmarked vans in the middle of the street in broad daylight. Are you a parent that's going to send your child to this country for that? What planet are you on? It's unbelievable. Perception is reality, folks. Jeff, Austin, Bubba, the Trump voter is happy about that. They think the immigrant doctoral students are stealing their jobs. It's going to cost a lot of money. Jeff, the propaganda that comes out of Caroline Leavitt is next level, like North Korean level. This gal could work for China. She could get a job for the Chinese government, this gal. Tesla is a special case. Elon has kneecapped his own company, Zed. Yes, $22 strike, $10 contracts. Yes. Fold your arms. Nothing. Just do nothing. You'll be fine. You'll be just fine. Splair, I see SoFi happily surpassing 12 to now 12. Thank you, Splair. Yes, sir. Up it goes. Savage, Bubba, the Trump voter reads at third grade level. They have no idea what critical thinking is. There you go. What can I say? 22.84 on GameStop. You're up 23 cents on your GameStop shares. SoFi is up 19.20 cents a share to 12.11. ASTS is up 25 cents. Rocket Lab is up 6 cents. MSTR is up 197. AI is up 4 cents, and the Dow is down 134, and the S&P is down 19 points, and Nasdaq is down 52. And the Magnificent Seven could be in big trouble. In big trouble, because half of their business is about to get hit from offshore buying strike. There's going to be a strike against anything from the Magnificent Seven. You heard it. If you heard it here first, you heard it here first. You just wait. You watch Google. Anything with a Google logo on it, anything with an Amazon logo on it, anything with a Facebook logo on it. These guys are going to lose money here and there. They're going to lose offshore influence, and they're certainly going to get reciprocal tariffs in certain areas. Just saying, I don't see the rest of the world going, oh, we'll take the punishment, Donald. Oh, we'll bow to you, Mr. Trump. Oh, you're the greatest. Really? You have no idea. America has really lost a lot of street cred in the last 6 months. Big time. Big time street cred has gone out the window. Some Americans don't like me talking like this, but I'm trying to get you to get your blinders off and just look around and just go, hey, it is what it is. And Germany just increased its budget by $1 trillion to invest in itself. They're not going to buy American-made goods with that $1 trillion. That's not coming to America. There'll be no factories built by German businesses in the United States. That's not going to happen right now. You may think that's not going to happen. Toyota and Honda, you think they're going to expand their businesses in America? No, they're going to expand their businesses in Asia, in Africa, South America, the rest of Europe. They're going to go in the Mideast. That's where the money is. That's where the reliable business is. America is unpredictable. They're not going to risk billions of dollars when you don't know what the hell's happening tomorrow. 15 minutes from now, the guy could change his mind. Who knows what the guy's thinking? No, they're not going there. Anyway, there you have it. Sorry to see. But it be what it be. What else? A Splair. No one is willing to pay my second roll-up from 10 to 13 on GameStop. Well, just be patient, my friend. Andrea, oh boy, you don't want to know what TV shows and people are saying about Trump. Not so good, not so good. That's from Italy, my friend. That's from Italy. Here in Italy, there you go. And GameStop, Bruce, $23 a share on your GameStop. We're going higher. It's going higher. Yep, it's already pushing 23 around, and it'll go higher. By the way, remember, GameStop was in the mid 20s, before earnings and before, the financing. We're coming back to the mid 20s, and then it'll go higher from there eventually. But it's all fine. Anyway, 22.94, 22.95. High of the day on GameStop, 23.02 so far today. SoFi 12.16 now, up 26 cents. SoFi is traded 3.6 million. High of the day on SoFi, 12.19. It's at 12.16, so it's at the highs. Doing fine. ASTS up 42 now to 22.27. Rocket Lab 18.37, up 22 cents. GameStop up 34. MSTR up 2.34 at 3.08. AI up 11. Supermicro up 48. NVIDIA's only down 77 cents. Tesla's down now 5.99. We've got Palantir up 2.23. Costco up to 958.98, up 4.58 a share. Coinbase up 4.67. Google down 23 cents. We've got Apple down 41. We have Broadcom down up 73 now. Microsoft is up a nickel. Very calm there. See if I can get my machine to work better. Netflix is up $15. Meta is up $2. Excuse me. Up $2 on Meta. Eli Lilly down 3.95. Amazon down 32 cents. Uber's up 18, Adobe down 240, Cisco down 39, AMD up 27, Unity up 12, Enphase down 19, Moderna is up 16 cents. Not much going on in Moderna. Pfizer up a nickel, IBM down 167, HPQ down 9, Home Depot down 69.70 cents, Vanik up off 129 now to 211. Goldman Sachs up 491, Boeing down 130 at 166 a share. I think this was 190 just in the last month. Yeah, well, actually just 184 on March 25, and we were at 186 February the 18th. We're now back to 166 on Boeing. Well, we'll follow that. We always follow that. Even an Air Force contract is not helping the stock right now. They've got problems. Okay, let's continuing on. Bobby, I'm glad I wrote one GameStop $22 cash secured put Monday afternoon. I received $5.70 for that thing. Well, Bobby, you got to be a happy camper because at $23 a share or so, $22.87 to $23, those 22s are out of the money. Thank you. And dude, GameStop's doing great. Let's go, Zed. I can write 30 GameStop contracts. I'm waiting for GameStop to pop. Well, you're gambling that it's going to go higher, and it looks like it is. And there you have it. There you go. There you go. And Splayer is saying, I'm hearing from Germans, honestly, that they are unhappy about the future here, especially when you think about the taxes and who's paying for the new debt. And there you have it. Well, this is a common thing, but Germany is flexing its muscles right now. The German economy is going to grow dramatically in the next couple of years because of this stimulus. It's a stimulus America can't afford to give itself. So America is trying to tax discount its way to prosperity. America is thinking, well, we'll just extend the tax cuts, and that'll give confidence to all the rich people to invest in America. And what are they doing right now? They're selling, and they're shifting their money overseas. They're taking advantage of the American lower half and just getting out. And they're going to buy back when prices hit lows in the next year and a half as this presidency winds out into the midterms. That's my opinion. We're down 203 on the Dow. I could be dead wrong, but right now the market is telling me one thing and the media is telling me another. The right-wing zealots are convinced they're on the right track. The market is begging to differ, maybe is the word there. I don't know. Anyway, there's Jeff is saying, funny, jobs weren't being stolen by immigrants, they're being stolen by Donald Trump. Yeah, well, an individual mowing a lawn or trimming a hedge at minimum wage in America is not a job killer. It's an individual that is doing a service, maintaining property values very, very nicely, holding up property values, because when a golf resort looks good and when condos look pretty, they sell at top dollars. And who owns the condos? Not the immigrants. They don't own the condos down here. The condos here are held by Americans and others, Canadians and others, and they're looking for a nice little capital gain, and they get it. They get a tax break on it, and they use that cash to invest back into their country. Thank you, minimum wage people, for keeping these properties looking so pretty. There's a disconnect. For some reason, there's some people who believe that immigrants mowing lawns is bad for the U.S. economy because it's taking away high-paying lawn mowing jobs from Americans. These aren't high-paying lawn mowing jobs. I don't know where this disconnect comes from. I don't know why it's a problem to have immigrant workers working at meat processing plants for garbage money per hour when college-educated U.S. kids will not work in a slaughterhouse in Kansas for 12 bucks an hour, 15, 20 bucks an hour. They're not going to do that. They're going to get the high-end paying jobs. They're going to be the marketers for the meat company. They're going to be the advertising executives for Safeway and Kroger. They're going to be the managers of these stores. They're going to be the high-enders. They're going to be the owners of the trucking companies that move the meat around to different locations. So they're going to be the ones running the warehouses, the distribution centers for all the imported goods that are coming in. That's where America makes its money, the brain power of its youth. The youth, I can tell you right now, there are very few people dying to get a job as an automobile assembler in a South Carolina non-unionized plant at 16 bucks an hour. I don't see a lot of college grads in America wanting that job. I see those without the college going for it, but there are hundreds of those jobs available, not tens of thousands, and there will never be. No, you can build a Jeep Cherokee in Mexico for half the price of building it in the United States. Why would you build it in America? No smart business person does that. They're not going to do it. Tariffs, not going to make that happen. But that's me. I'm just me. Anyway, there it is. There's the story. We're down 165, 170 on the Dow. We're down 21 on S&P. We're down 59 on NASDAQ. And we will meander about here all day long until the announcement comes out. And then tonight we'll see the aftermarket. And tomorrow we'll see the pre-market. And tomorrow and Friday we will react to something that is more clear to us. In the meantime, some of our stocks are doing okay. We're 12 bucks on SoFi. We're up a dime there. We're up 11 on ASTS, up a couple of pennies on Rocket Lab, and GameStop holding a slight gain. That's what I got. Anyway, there it is. Austin, that is something that the media isn't talking about. That there's no way the U.S. will ever be a manufacturing superpower. Austin, you are correct. 49er, crazy 49er. I have one Tesla 270 September 25. Should I roll further out and lower the strike? I can go to the 250s for March 26 and get a $4 premium increase. What do you think about that? Okay, Tesla is trading at 262 right now. So you've written a 270. I'm assuming this is a call. So you've written a call for 270, and it's an out of the money call. Would I be pushing you to go in the money? Theoretically, you could, but can you write a 270 for March 26 instead? Just write a 270, still out of the money, and you should get an increase on that as well, rather than write a 250. Curious. Sorry, this is a put, Bruce. Oh, okay, sorry. I'm on one side, you're on the other. Okay, I've written a 270 put contract. All right, so I've got a 270 written. I could go to a 250, which is out of the money, and get a 4 premium. Yes, I would go with that. Yes. Okay. It really helps if you tell me what it is you're doing. I'm just sitting here going, every little bit for this old man would be appreciated. I tell you, it's mind-bending what you guys put me through sometimes. Just help me out here. Help me out. All right, let's keep going. Used to be a lot easier. It's not that easy anymore. Okay, giddy up, everybody. Welcome to the party, pal. Yes, we're now on the same page on the same book. Okay, good, got it. All right, fair enough. Yeah, yeah. Look, March is an idea. Take a look. Yeah, think about 260s. You can do at the markets. You can do out of the money. Yeah, sure. No problem there. I like the idea of out of the money contracts for cash where the contract is worthless. The only value it has is its time. And of course, the stock is helping you anyway with its moves. So, yeah, congratulations. Those of you who've been writing call credit spreads on Tesla and NVIDIA, Apple, Microsoft, Google, Amazon. Oh, God, the money is easy, isn't it? Isn't it easy? The SPYs, the Qs, staying way out of the way. Oh, man, there's easy money made. Those of you doing iron condors, you're working both sides. You're doing a credit spread on a call and a credit spread on a put. And rather than doing an iron condor at the same time, you're doing two separate trades, two different expiry dates. You're really working it. I commend you because you're now moving further down the option writing business line. You're no longer just, oh, I'm not going to do condors. I'm locked in. I've got to do the same expiry in all four contracts. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do puts and calls, different expiry dates because of different premiums I can get my hands on. I'll do different spread amounts. These contracts are $2.50 spreads. These are $5 spreads, or these are $10 spreads, and these are $15 spreads. You're getting smarter doing this, and you're bringing in bigger premiums. Congratulations, everybody. I love it. Jeff Glass, I now have covered calls on all my Rocket Lab shares. I spread out to the $30 June's, 30 September's, and $40 Jan 26s on Rocket Lab. So writing out of the money contracts across the board. Thank you very much. Dude, crazy for now. You should wait to get exercise and just cross your arms. I'm on the call side now. I wrote a 350 Jan 26 last week on the pop-up. I'm already up $1,000. This is great stuff. Again, to each his own. Whichever works best for you, you go with the strategy. We're up 23 again on SoFi, 12.14. We're popping higher. We're up 55 on ASTS. Rocket Lab up 24. GameStop up 33 cents. MSTR up 170 and AI up 3. Jen is in the room. How are you, Auntie Jen?
Good. How are you?
Good. Welcome to Liberation Day.
That's right.
Yes, we were down 300 in the pre-market coming into the market. We're down 84 now because we're going to jump around all day. We don't get this event with the balloons and the happiness and all the hugs and stuff until the east, what is it, the East Lawn, until 3-4 o'clock Eastern time. So it's going to be a while yet. There you go. Dude, you know, if you don't want to do that, you can just sell the shares and write another put. Richard Carlin is saying good morning, Auntie Jen, and so is Larry Titus. Good morning, Auntie Jen, to you.
Morning, Richie.
Hello,
Morning,
everybody.
Jenny.
Welcome.
Yeah.
In case you're interested, the men's curlers at the World Championship, they're 5-2 now in the round robin, working their way into the playoffs. Or they're 5-1. They're 5-1. Pardon me. They're 5-1, and they're on a roll. They beat Italy last night. Off they go.
We are tied for second.
Tied for second place.
First. China is first at 6-1 because they've played one more game than we have at this point.
Okay, China 6-1, Canada 5-1. There you go. Well, Canada gets 2 games in today, so we'll see if they end up at 7-1 or where are they going to be tonight. Welcome all of you. Splayer, welcome to a liberated. Good morning, Auntie Jen. Stuart Longsdale, good morning, Auntie Jen. Ricardo, what happens in curling? I was working. What happened? They're winning. Vilbus, I have a couple of these July 18, 2025 AI $35 cash secured puts that I wrote a while back, debating on rolling at least one of them down to January 26 or Jan 27. $25 strikes. What are your thoughts? Well, buying back now and rewriting tomorrow after the tariffs can drag stuff down a bit. You're gambling. I mean, you're taking a shot at it. Vilbus, 21.52 is what the stock is at. So it's up 9 at the moment. We'll see. I just get the impression the stock is kind of low now. I think it's at its lower end. But hey, they're creating software for American corporations, AI software. So I don't know if tariffs will affect them all that much, because AI is going to get an even bigger presence with declining sales elsewhere. You got to lower your costs. AI is the way to do it. So I don't know. Tom, there was a pic on a flight from Saskatchewan to Toronto. Everyone on the plane was watching curling on televisions. Someone took a picture and everyone was watching curling on their TV flying from Saskatchewan to Toronto. That would make sense. Vilbus, folding my arms is what I prefer to do, he says. There you go, buddy. Yes, Canadians are folding their arms watching curling. They're not watching Trump. They're watching the World Curling Championship, how the men are doing. I mean, that's what's national importance right now. There's an election in Canada, a national election going on for a new prime minister. That's happening right now. But so are the World Curling Championships. They're happening right now. And the NHL is in the last 8 games of its regular season. So there's a lot of Canadian teams trying to get into the playoffs right now. They're watching that right now, too. So elbows up in Canada is what's happening here. Dude, we wait and we make the money. Time is on our side. Indeed, it is, kids.
That's right.
Kids are getting richer, heavy in cash, light in stock. Thank you very much for the payoffs. Let's see how it wants to work out. Giddy up, everybody. Fun times at the OK Corral. Whew, sun is up here. We've had 5 straight days where we wake up in the morning and it's calm and it's pretty looking, it looks nice. And then in the afternoon, the winds pick up and we get dust everywhere. Air quality warnings left, right, and center.
We have an air quality warning today as well.
Another one.
But they're not saying it's unidentified. It's unknown where it's from.
Get these winds, and it just isn't been. It's been ridiculous. I haven't gone out to the pool in the afternoon. I'm not going to go out in that crap.
When it's windy out.
Oh God, no! You don't want to be
there.
Breathing in all that.
Well, and you're in there with your leaves and your twigs and your bark.
Don't want to do it.
The poor pool cleaners are busy.
That's right. Not great. Well,
I'm trying to paint.
I'm thinking of a bagel today.
Oh, you're ready.
That is the meat, the all meat one. I think.
It's the Wednesday all meat.
Yeah, I think so.
Meat, all meat.
Yeah.
Cheese.
And we got provolone.
Philippe's.
And Philippe's.
Want the provolone?
A good dose.
A good dose. It's coming.
Don't be shy.
You're going to be crying.
I'm half stuffed up here because of all the gunk in there. I got to get the gunk out.
Once the gunk goes in, it doesn't come out. I'm afraid it's silica.
See, we got to find a way to clear the sinuses and stuff.
You go and have an X-ray, and the first thing they say to you is, "Have you ever lived in the desert?"
You ever live in the desert?
Oh yes.
I think if a researcher were to perfect a way for the human beings to be able to expel gunk collected in our lungs, that would make that person a trillionaire.
That would be a
in no time. I don't know how you do it. I don't know if it has to be you got to be put under, and then they put tubes down there.
Gravity boots, and we just need to hang upside down.
Gravity boots, yeah, give us headaches by just spinning us centrifugally. Have our tops of our heads blow off. Yeah, that'll go over like a lead balloon, won't it? You gotta wonder. I don't know. I'm just a guy trying to figure out what's going on. I don't know. I'm just a guy.
You want liverwurst in this all?
No. Thank you, Auntie Jen, so much. Fantastic. Well, we'll see how the market reacts today once the bagel gets going. We'll figure it all out. Welcome all. Apparently, Tesla stock falls as the EV maker suffers the worst drop in car sales ever. Well, there's a worldwide strike on Tesla vehicles. That's what it is, a buyer's strike. And the other thing that's happening is foreign buyers go to their car dealerships to shop like anywhere else, and they notice that if they go and look for a Chinese branded EV, they can buy one of those without tariffs in various countries in the world. They can buy a Chinese EV for $35,000, load it up. Then they look at a Tesla and they want $45,000, and they're going, "Why would I pay $10,000 more for a Tesla when I can get this one for $10,000 less? Why would I do that? It comes with a 4-year warranty. It comes with dealerships. It comes with everything I need." Tesla's getting its butt handed to it. Now, in America, of course, Tesla has the 100% tariff guarantee of mediocrity. Same in Canada. Canada has put 100% tariff on imported Chinese product. And so North Americans are getting ripped off by our own country. Our own governments are ripping us off by not allowing us to buy Chinese vehicles at the actual price that they're available at.
And no incentive to buy them.
Yeah, well, there you go. And so now you're stuck with buying the Tesla at the Tesla prices when you know deep down inside, I could get a car for 30% less than this that's electric if I buy this. If I were allowed to buy the Hyundais, the Hondas, the Toyotas, the Audis, the Volkswagens, and the other that are electric without tariffs added to them, they'd be a lot cheaper here as well. And my government is protecting American and Canadian jobs. No, it's not. They're ripping you off and making you pay taxes behind the back door. You're being taxed behind the scenes, and we're gullible enough to believe that it's good for our economy. We're getting ripped off by our own elected officials. That's what it is. That's what tariffs are. Sorry. What can I say? It's a tax. Yes. Thank you all. Tom, I got to go buy the wife a birthday present, a wheelbarrow and rake to clean up after this ice storm. Happy wife, happy life. There you go. Good luck with that. Mandu, good morning, Auntie Jen. Jeff, good morning, Auntie Jen. Bagel time. Beach Boy, hi, Auntie Jen. To help liberate the evil toaster, I just wrote 10 January SMCI $35 cash secured puts at $9.50. So this is a $35 stock right now. He's writing $35 cash secured puts. He got $9.50, and he wrote 10 ASTS Jan 27.25s. And the ASTS right now is sitting at, what was it doing right now? It's sitting at 22.28. He's writing 25s at 11.81. Step away from the 11 pie now. Yahir laughing out loud. Vilbus, their sales aren't going to get much better on those Teslas, Bruce. Their sales aren't going to get better. Looking good. Tom, not looking good. Tom, Chinese EVs are light years ahead. Link and CO 900, unbelievable. Bobby, no tariffs on the Philippe mustard. No tariffs on that. Dude, the market is weakening. This is great. A crazy 49er. You see the BYD going over the bumps video to show the suspension. Unbelievable. Tommy, new BYD's new electric SUV called Taya 3 starts under $20,000. And this shows you, folks, the technology in automobiles is now so lame compared to what it used to be. It used to be a fancy-dancy thing to have power windows, to have cruise control. Oh, that was like the greatest of all time. Radar-assisted cruise control. Oh, wow. Oh, what an innovation. Today, every car can have it built in for nothing. It is gone down in cost, just like VCRs went down, DVDs went down in price, televisions went down in price. Cars are supposed to be cheaper now because there is no new technology in most of these vehicles. But because Detroit has convinced Washington to put in tariffs, they can be lazy and they can soak you 25 to 50% more than you should be paying for a freaking pickup truck. Are you kidding me? A piece of crap pickup truck, $100,000. Really? Oh my God.
Talking about new technology.
New technology.
I saw a reel the other day of a woman who had told her child to hang up the phone. And the child couldn't understand what she was referencing.
Doesn't know what hanging up the phone means.
Where am I supposed to? Yeah, they don't.
Where do I hang it?
They don't understand the pick up or the hang up the phone. Because it makes no sense to them.
I love the videos where an adult will get a child or two together and put a record player in front of them and say,
and a record,
I want to hear
they don't care about.
I want to hear some music. Can you make this thing make music? And they're looking at a record player and they don't know what to do. They don't know how to turn it on. They don't know how to make it spin. They don't know how to get the arm out of the way. They don't know how to put an album on it. They don't know how to put the needle in. Clueless.
We had to show our child, and she grew up with that record player still working. She just never.
Yeah.
Don't touch it.
There's a certain child in our relationship that has my stereo from 1974, and loving Dad's stereo.
So what happens when you leave the house for a while?
You leave the house, you come back, and your stereo's missing, and you go and visit your
Some of
daughter.
your
and
records are at
your
her house.
stereo's at your daughter's house. Look at that, and she's going, Dad, this is really cool. My friends come over and they watch me put an album on it. It's really great. Unbelievable.
Yeah, there's a store we pass on the way to Joshua Tree called Vinyl and Vintage. You got to go there. Got to stop there.
Oh my! Oh,
I bet they have lots of Yoko. Lots of.
I'm sure they have Yoko albums available. Zeta State cars are self-parking now. Jeff, Uncle Bruce, how will the U.S. EV companies like Rivian fare under these auto tariffs, and what will happen to their prices? They make pickups and SUVs exclusively. Well, the reason they do is because of the margins. Rivian is trying to make a profit on the highest margin product available in the auto sector. Look at Ford. They don't make a car anymore. They make SUVs now, really. That's their style. GM won't make Camaros anymore. They make Corvettes because of the margins. They won't make Corvettes, cheap sports cars. They won't make, they make SUVs and trucks, and they're generating gobs of profit per vehicle at the expense of the American consumer. The American consumer is being ripped off by its own government. This is socialism at the highest level there is. Socialism at the highest level when cars are 50% more expensive than they should be because of all the government tariff protection that these manufacturers experience, and they deliver to you crap. They deliver to you vehicles that are unreliable. How many vehicles are now in the J.D. Power lower ranking of quality control? Look at the Jeeps and the Stellantis, Chrysler and Dodge Ram trucks. Even pickup trucks are low on reliability scales. And there's no new innovation in these vehicles. There's nothing new at all in any of these pickup trucks. Why can't Ford deliver a $29,000 pickup truck right now? They should be able to. They can't. They can't. They've got union contracts at $40 an hour. They've got all the taxes and tariffs in place from the U.S. government built into this thing, and they want a profit margin. And the dealers aren't going to give you a deal because they have a limited number of trucks they're going to bring in. They only order enough trucks that they think they can sell to their local economy, their local market. And so you go shopping for a truck, you either get this one or this one or this one at 3 different dealers. You have no choice. You have no variety. You have no competition for your dollar. And yet, you can bring in vehicles. Theoretically, pickup trucks could be made in China for $15,000 to $25,000. Trucks from South Korea, trucks from elsewhere could be brought in for cheap. And that's all they are. They're cheap vehicles. They're garbage. They give you no mileage, no reliability. They look shiny and new on the lot, but they're all plastic and they're all unreliable. And Americans are getting ripped off, not only buying them, but maintaining this piece of crap. This is what Americans are finding out when they get the vehicle. After a couple of years, the warranty runs out, and now they've got thousands of dollars in repair bills to replace computer systems and electronics that they can't buy at their local parts dealer. There are people who have a transmission problem and they find out there's one part that needs to be replaced, but they can't get it replaced because the entire transmission has to be replaced by the manufacturer. It's a closed market. And now you've got a $12,000 transmission to be replaced instead of a $200 part. This is where Americans get ripped off. Canadians are getting ripped off. It's an absolute outrage, and no politician is going to fight these guys. Who has the guts to fight Detroit for their quality control? Nobody. Absolutely nobody. Just a guy in front of a computer. Jen Jr. showcases Yoko Ono songs. Bilbos, the other problem Tesla has at the Cybertruck is a disaster. A crazy 49er, you can't import trucks into the U.S. That is a law. There's a law preventing it. Well, there's a 25% tariff duty preventing it. Absolutely, you can't do it. The car companies know that they can raise the price of a truck to a certain level, knowing that with that 25% guarantee tariff, that foreigners have this invisible line. They can't penetrate the business. That is exactly it. The chicken tax, exactly right. From 1965, still here to this very day to protect American jobs. Well, how well is the auto business now compared to 1965? How many millions of auto workers were there in 1965, and how many thousands are there now? Totally decimated. And Americans now look at a 1965 vehicle and a 2025 vehicle. They can fix and rebuild a 1965 vehicle. You can't repair and rebuild a 2025. So many of them are written off with slight damages. They're written off completely. They're unrepairable. They are garbage. Crazy 49er, the chicken tax, a 25% tariff on imported light trucks was implemented in 64 as a retaliatory measure against European tariffs on U.S. poultry. Temporary measure that was supposed to last 6 months. The poultry thing went away 6 months later. The tax is still here on light trucks. That never went away. There are lobbyists making sure that tax will never, ever go away because trillions of dollars have been sucked out of Americans' pockets by the auto industry over 60 years. 60 years of socialism in the auto business. 60 years. And they claim to be all American free enterprise people. Think again, America. Wake up. This is why I'm good at Jeopardy, Bruce. This is why I'm so good at Jeopardy. Your topics, I do well at Jeopardy. There you go. SoFi is up 20. ASTS is up 83. Rocket Lab is up 32 cents. GameStop is unchanged, and MSTR is up 31 cents right now. We got the Dow down 50 points. We got AI up 7 cents. SMCI down 7, NVIDIA down 99, Tesla down 430 at the moment. Spiders are down 67 cents. Qs are off 41 cents. Palantir up $1.34. Costco up 7. Coinbase up $3 at the moment. Welcome to the party, pal. Nice to have you with us today. Giddy up, everybody, as we go forward here on Liberation Day. Oh, yes, let's find out all the new taxes that the Trump administration is going to put on your ass later today. Every American is about to find out, with balloons and celebrations, how many trillions of dollars Americans are now going to pay in taxes on imported goods for the next 4 to 10 years, however long these are going to be, and how deep will the U.S. recession actually be. We're about to find out how ugly the U.S. economy is going to perform in the next 4 years based on the projected tariffs to be implemented against American consumers. You're about to find out live from the White House as a celebration of greatness. Unfreaking believable. The celebration of the 1930s depression. They're using the same policies they put in place in 1930, 31, 32, 33 to protect the American economy, and it only made one thing worse. The Depression became an absolute killer of prosperity in the United States. That is about to be replayed today live on your local network. Good luck with that, and celebrate it all you want. I don't understand it. It is what it is.
Can you smell it?
Well, I can see it.
Can you smell that, Philippe?
No, I can't, because my nose is all gunked up. Look at that. There you go. Oh, yeah, that's the all-meat special. Whee!
No problem.
Giddy up, everybody. Oh, I'm good here. I'm good. Let's see how this one plays out today. The Dow's off, 30 points, 50 points, something like that. We're down 9 on S&P. We're down 36 on NASDAQ. Coming into this, see here what's going on. Charlie, bagel. Let's go, baby. The bagel is here. Let's see if this helps the markets at all. SoFi up 18, ASTS up 90, Rocket Lab up 25, GameStop down 2. And let's check out this bagel right here. Oh, wow. Nice and warm. Oh, yeah. I definitely feel the mustard. That's what I want.
I definitely smell the mustard.
Felipe's super hot mustard is working. I like it.
I want to see tears.
Tears, tears, and tears. Very nice. Awesome. Just awesome. All right, kids. You want to become an option writer? Take the classes. Go to my website. They're on sale. That's all I can tell you. If you don't want to make money in the market,
You come play with the boys and girls in the playground.
yeah, if you want to play with the rest of us in the playground, learn the rules, figure out how it's done. 18 lessons are waiting for you on a silver platter. What can I tell you? I cannot believe how many people spend. I bet you there are people spending $500,000 now on a college education. Between the first year and graduation, with the cost of rent and groceries, over 4, 5, 6 years, however long it takes to get these degrees, $500,000. The poor kid is working part-time, trying to make it go, and they're coming out of school with $350,000 in student debt at 8%. They're going to instantly be $2,000 a month in interest payments right off the bat, just getting your degree. I can't believe how many are stuck with that story. And here I am sitting here going, for $200 a class, there's only 18 of them. You can learn how to write options. You don't need $100,000 to get into this business either. And if you play it right, like so many of my viewers have, you can generate revenue while you're taking the classes. Not like college, where you can't be a full-blown lawyer until you graduate and pass the bar. Can't be a doctor. You can't be a veterinarian, nothing like that. You pay, and then qualify in. Now make your money back. Here, you can write options while you're learning to write options. I'm at a loss as to how more people don't do it. I don't know. Yeah. Love it. Welcome to the party, pals. The Dow is up 10.8 points. Bagel. Can the bagel give us another 40 cents on SoFi today? SoFi's up 24. Giddy up. Felipe's. Yay. No one pronounces it the other way. Philippe's. Brian, Calgary, pure ice. Accidents everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Freaking Canada, eh? I heard
There's a fatality accident.
there's a serious storm last night in Calgary, and it's pure ice this morning. Stay home.
You just forget about it. Oh, yeah. You forget. Oh, and you can't come in at Lactus Arc. There is a transport truck that's across the highway, but you don't find out until you come around the corner, and it's right there.
What a mess.
So now we have a multiple vehicle.
What a mess in Calgary.
What is this? Yeah.
No ice storm here. Very, very lovely weather this morning. And looks like no serious wind. There's a bit of breeze. I have to say, there's a little bit of a breeze, but it's not like howling winds. We're up 12 on the Dow. We're down 3 in S&P. We're down 13 on NASDAQ. They've all come up. They've all recovered quite a bit. See how much oomph there is. We're up 24 on SoFi now, 12.16. ASTS up 84. Rocket Lab up 27 cents. GameStop went green again, up 5 cents. Welcome to the party, everybody. We're enjoying a bagel with all kinds of meats and cheeses, and Philippe's hot mustard sauce. It's dripping out down here. Oh my God. The sinuses are being cleaned up today. Mhm.
Yeah, I didn't dot it. I just poured.
That's what I want. What I want. Love it. Dude, love the flat to weak market, Uncle Bruce. Everything just shrinks out, man. It's unbelievable. I'm just watching this market just bleed out. I'm making money. I love this game. Giddy up, kids. Kaiser Trip. Here's a $10 donation, Uncle Bruce. I was assigned SoFi shares. My cost $15.50 from a cash secured put. Write a $13.50 calls and get $4 a share to get a push. What other strategy? Sell now for a loss and try to do a monthlies or get to recoup my losses? Do you sell the stock here at $12.16 and then write $15 cash secured puts for Jan 26 and take that premium? What should the strategy be here for our friend? Well, we're about to find out. Let me take a look at the option market here if I can get it to pop up. Okay, if we go forward in time, let's see if we go into past April. Let's take a look at June contracts just for fun. If you were to write cash secured puts, you sell the stock and immediately write a cash secured put. If you wrote a 13, you'd get about $2 a contract. So you're saying to the market, look, I'll sell them now at 12.15, but I'm willing to buy them back at 11. Give me $2. If you sold 12s, again, expiry in June. That's 2 months from now. The 12s will get you $1.40. If you go forward though, for further time, January 2026. If you wrote 15s right now, you would get about $4.40 a contract, which means you're offering to buy the stock back at $10.60, selling at $12.15 to buy at $12.60. $10.60, and you're going to get $440, $4.40 a share for every contract you write right now. And so that will give you immediately capital back for this move, and depreciation, of course. Obviously, the shares between now and January 26th, they reach the 14.16 neighborhood. These puts will be worth $1, $1.25. Maybe you're going to make some nice money on those. You could turn around right now and write $20 cash secured puts, but you're only going to get paid $8.40, $8.50. That's an $11.50 buyback. It's about a 60-cent premium. Not so exciting. If you took 17s off the table, you'd almost get $6. That's an $11 buyback. The 15s are definitely a $10.60 buyback. So there's where I would probably push you right now, 15s to 17s. If you're going to write a cash secured put contract, that's where you could go. If you wrote calls, all right, let's take a look at calls back to SoFi. For January, if you wrote 15s, which are out of the money now, $2.80 out of the money, you would get about $1.90. If you wrote 12s, which are 12 cents in the money, you'd get about $2.95. Do you want to go that route? On a percentage basis, picking up almost let's say $2.95 on right now a $12 contract. It's all time premium basically, except for a dime. I'd be more inclined to go with a $15 cash secured put. I would be willing to take $440 off the table for a $15 commitment up front. Almost 30% on your money is where I would go, and that is almost much of it is time. And so I'd be looking at a nice time premium trade there, because I have upside faith in the stock, of course, with earnings reports coming out. Several quarters of earnings will be out between now and January 26th. But obviously, if the shares go to $15 to $16 in the next 3 months, those are worthless. The 15s are worthless. They're going to be trading at $1.50, $2. You'll roll those to 17, or you'll roll those to 20, and you will take another $4 or $5 a share back, and you will be more than compensated for this entire story, because you're constantly writing and writing and writing and writing. So you have to keep writing. Okay. Stephen Butler, thank you for number 142. Appreciate it. Kaiser, thank you for this donation and the question. I love it. It gets people thinking, gets people wondering, what should I do in this situation? Which way should I go in this? Always be writing. Okay. Cash is king. We're up 17 on the Dow. Welcome to the party, pals. Nice to have you here. $234 of you have now come in with an answer to my question of the day. Thank you. Appreciate that involvement. I write stock options for income and to grow my retirement accounts. 31% of you are saying that you write covered calls. 5% say poor man covered calls. 51% of you are saying cash secured puts, and 12% of you are saying I'm doing credit spreads. Well done. Good job for everybody across the board. Thanks again for the thumbs ups today. 143 have come in. 143. Got a comment here from Charlie. Just set a stink bid or a stink offer to sell April 11, 260, 6250 call spread on IBM. This trade will net me 50 cents. So he'll put $250 up to bring 50 in. 20% on his money for an April 11 expiry trade. This is huge if he can pull this off. This is a huge return in such a short period of time. IBM trading at 250. He's running 260, 62 50s. 10 out of the money, 9 days. Interesting trade. Charlie, let me know if you pull it off, and let me know how it works out. We'll see if we get a bite on this one. Well, yeah, you might well be taken on it. You might be taken on. This is one of those trades where if he pulls this off, he'll go, I can't believe how much money they just gave me. Can't believe they're giving me 20% on my money. 23 bid ask, 23 to 53. Interesting. We're up 11 on the Dow now. Holding a gain. I think we're up 25 on the Dow now. SoFi's up 22. ASTS up 72. Rocket Lab's up 18, make it 24 on Rocket Lab. GameStop is just negative 2 cents, but I think it's about to pop up again. Unchanged on GameStop. MSTR is up 57 cents. Dude, ideally, you want a market that doesn't know what to do. You should be piling cash in this market. Exactly. This is where gamblers make stupid moves. They pay way too much for a contract because they want to get into the game. You're letting them into the game, your game, at your prices. You might be the only seller. You might be the only one offering them a contract, the one they want. Well, you take top dollar for it. That's what Charlie's going for. More power to him. Dow's green. S&P 500 went green. We're down 8 points on NASDAQ. We're going green right now. We take money from the market, whatever direction it wants to go. Option writers. Stock option writers win no matter what direction the market goes. This is it for the bagel. The market is higher. Market went up while I'm eating a bagel. Giddy up. Thank you, Auntie Jen. Lovely. Very nice. I'm going to take a look here at some of our favorite stocks right now. I'm showing Rocket Lab is up 22 cents at 18.37. Now, you want to do some trades, some option trades on something like Rocket Lab with an 18.37 price. I really like the upside of the stock. Tariffs will have nothing to do with its future. It will not hurt it at all. So you can look at writing put credit spreads. You can do call credit spreads, but I would be well ahead of the stock. I would be in maybe the 22, 24 neighborhood. On the put side, I'd be about 14 to 16 on the put side for Rocket Lab. Or I would write cash secured puts. If you can write 20s, 18s, 16s, 15s, further out you go, even better. Rocket Lab, I think, can make you some nice money. SoFi at $12.11. Cash secured puts on SoFi is the way to go. We're up 20 at the moment. 17s and 15s for January 26 are an easy way to play this one. GameStop at $22.54, down 8 cents. Put credit spreads. I would be looking at 16s to 20s would be the neighborhood with $1 to $2 spreads, maybe. You can write a ton of those. Cash secured puts on GameStop are another great way to bring in some nice premiums. You can write 20s right now, 22s, 2250s, 25s. Further out you go, bring in some serious money. Let's see what else we got going on here. We've got Apple now at $224.28. We're up 118. I'd be looking at call credit spreads here. If you have the money, if you've got the dough, and you can write a $200 cash secured put, a $210 cash secured put, you might want to do those for a couple of months out, like 2-3 months out. If you want to go call credit spreads, I would be looking at 240 to 260 neighborhood for 2 to 4 weeks out. On Tesla at 262 right now, I'd be looking at call credit spreads in that 290 to 310 neighborhood. The higher, the better. Again, 2 to 4 weeks. Microsoft is 381 a share. The high of the year, 468. I'd be looking at 405 to 420 call credit spreads on that one. Google, we're at 158.30. The high for 52 weeks is 208. I'd be looking at 170 to 180 Google call credit spreads a month or less. Amazon, 192.69. High of the year, 242. Amazon call credit spreads, I'd be looking at about 210 to 220, somewhere in that neighborhood. NVIDIA, 109.04 with a 153 high. We're down about a third. I'd be looking at 125 to 135 at least for a credit spread. And I'd be looking at $5, $2.50, $10 spreads, somewhere in that neighborhood. Facebook is 585 with a 740 52-week high. Probably 630 to 650 would be my call credit spread range on that one. Super Micro is at 34.85, down 20 cents right now. Cash secured puts, 30s to 35s. I'd be looking at those till all the way up to January 26th. And I would be looking at call and put credit spreads at least $5 ahead or behind the market with short fuses on those. ASTS, I'd be looking at cash secured puts all the way from maybe 18 to 25. And I'd be looking at put and call credit spreads at least $4 plus or minus this market. AI, 21.35, I'd be looking at cash secured puts about 18 to 25 to January 26. And I would be about $4 a share behind or ahead of the market with call or put credit spreads. Iron Condors, whatever. Palantir, 85.85. Put credit spreads would be expensive because, an $80 put credit spread is an $8,000 position. But I would look at call and put credit spreads about $10 out of the way. So 75s on the puts and 95s on the calls. 1 month or less. MSTR is 306.40. You got to be $40 behind or ahead of this stock using call or put credit spreads. Unity at 2030, I'd be $4 plus or minus on calls or puts around this $20 mark, and I would be interested in $18 to $25 cash secured puts. Jan 26 would be timing. Goldman Sachs, 558 a share, up 985. You got to be about $40 minus or $40 plus using 61.53 here. Maybe $5 each direction on puts or calls, 56 to 66, somewhere around there. Spider, 561 is where we are on the spiders right now. The high, 613, all-time high, 613. So I would be on the low side if I were doing put credit spreads on Spider. I would be in that 520, 30 level, and on the call side, I would definitely be 590 to 600, somewhere up there for sure. Again, short term. Netflix, 940 a share. The high, 1,064. I would be probably at least $50 on each side of this market at a minimum to do puts or calls. Pfizer, 24.63, $2 each direction, $22 put credit spreads, $26 call credit spreads, maybe $26.50. A month out, guarantee, give or take. The Qs are 472. I would be 10% plus or minus, so $50 on the downside, $50 higher on the upside for cash secured puts and calls. ARC Innovations at 48.22. The high is $68. I would give this a 10% swath, so I would be at least 5 below or 5 above with short-term time frames, a month or less on put or call credit spreads. IBM, 250 a share. I would be 240 on the low end, 260 on the high end, no more than a month out on credit spreads. Uber at 74.25. I would be looking at about 10% each direction, 67 on the low end, 81 on the high end. Less than a month out. HBQ is 27.78. I would be 25 on the low end and about 30 on the high end, less than a month in credit spread territory. Home Depot, 367 with a high of 439. I would give this stock $20 each way. 345 on the low and 385 to 390 on the high. Calls versus puts. Vanik Semiconductors, 211 with a high of 283. I would be at about 200, 195 to 200 on the puts, and on the calls, I would be about 225 or so on the high end. Adobe 382 with a 587 high and a 374 low. I would be at about 360 for the low and about 400 to 410 on the high with less than a month of time. Enphase at $62 with a 141 high and a 51 low. I would be 55 on the puts and I would be 70 on the calls about a month out. That's a rough idea, a rough guess on some of these stocks that we follow the most. That would be my way of playing them right now. If you wanted to get my thought on where should you be, where shouldn't you be right now. Richard says, bless you, Auntie Jen, sneezing out there. Rock and roll. Thank you, everybody, for being part of the program. It's great to have you here. Don't know why I'm not on the air. Can't see my face. I must have said something. No question. No.
Can they still hear you?
I don't know.
It was my sneeze.
Mm-hmm.
It was monumental.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Got a picture here. There I go. I think I'm back on. There I am. I don't know what happened to me. I don't know if you heard me or not, but hopefully you got all that. Some of my thoughts on these trades. Sensors strike again, says Crazy 49er. See, now my comment is up and my picture's gone. Yeah, if I take the comment off, you can see me. But if I put the comment on, you don't see me. So something is...
They'd rather see each other's comments than your face. Not that I don't love your face.
I hear bless you and suddenly black. There you go. I don't know what's going on. It's a glitch in the market. Glitch in my software. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But anyway, I'm trying to give you the straight goods as best I can with what little I know. Technical difficulties is what we call these. There you go. Technical difficulties for sure. Thank you all so much for joining in today. Great to have had you here with us today. We love the fact that you join Jen and I every day. Thank you for being members of this channel. Much, much appreciated. As I say, we're just trying to give you our best opinion and best guess where we're at. Anyway, I'll be watching the market, as will you. We'll wait for the announcement later and see what that has to, what it says, what it's all about. And we'll just see what, what's coming our way here with all this nonsense. We got a lot to follow, and we'll just stay on it. Just a guy trying to steer you straight as to where you want to be and where you don't want to be right now. And hopefully it works out for you. Congratulations to those of you who have been grabbing classes, those of you who have been letting Jen and I know that you want to get a hold of this deal that we're offering. And any of you who are looking to have a one-on-one session, you let me know if and when you're ready for one of those, and we'll be more than happy to get together with you. And we'll get together with you when you're ready. Never a dull moment in this market. No question about that. Are you guys getting ads from airlines desperate getting you to book a flight? I sure am. It's unbelievable how many messages I'm getting from airlines to have me book with them. It's just amazing. Absolutely amazing. The business is off, no doubt about that. Okay, everybody. That's the story right now. Take a quick peek at our watch list. We're up 28 on Rocket Lab. We're up 22 on SoFi. We're down 13 on GameStop. We're ahead 28 on 23andMe now. Spire down 4, ATIP up a penny, Smart Rent, nothing going on. Apple up 94, Tesla down 468, Microsoft down 82, Google down 63, Amazon up 6, Nvidia down 110, Meta down 75, Supermicro down 14, ASTS up 60, AI up a dime, Palantir up 126, MicroStrategy up 47, Unity up 18, Goldman up $10, Cisco down 18 cents. Spiders are up 66. The Qs are ahead 11 cents. Netflix up 13.21. Pfizer up 13 cents. Arc Innovations is up 45 cents. IBM up 27. Uber up 113. HPQ up 3. Home Depot up 250. Vanik Semiconductors down $1. Adobe down 67. And Enphase down 4 cents. It's a mixed bag right now. It's a lot of uncertainty. We won't know much more until later today. And even then, we're not sure what the details will be. It might be until tomorrow morning we really understand a lot of what is being talked about right here. We're going to get the spin doctors everywhere tonight and tomorrow morning. Your job is to see through all this nonsense. Your job is to be heavy in cash. Stay out of this market. These market bump ups are dead cat bounces. We're going lower on these markets, in my opinion. Just saying. So be careful out there. Be cash heavy. Make your money managing your money. That's the game. We're up 83 on the Dow. We'll take it. We're happy, but don't read too much into it. We're up 7.9 on S&P. We're up 14 on NASDAQ. Leave it at that. Don't let the propaganda get the best of you. Don't get sucked in on it. We'll see how this all plays out. Anyway, I've been getting a lot of cruise offers, says Charlie. They've been sending me cruise offers. Neat. Charlie, thanks, Dr. Bruce. You have a great day. We'll see you all later on. We'll see you tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. If you're a Gold Bagel member, we'll see you tonight. We'll be talking about what happened at the lawn on the lawn today, for sure. I look forward to having you with me at that time. In the meantime, stay careful, stay healthy. Jen and I are going to say our goodbyes in 3, 2, 1. Goodbye.